moving down, before my mark navigation, I'm going to put a put a mark here and call these helpers. And here we are going to have two functions. One is going to check our login status, and the other one is going to check our onboard status. So we want to make sure that our user profile has been completed. Because as you remember, when we register, we are providing only the user email address and the ID. So the first function I'm going to call private func check login status. And here we are simply going to check if we have a local user. So we say if muser dot current user is let's say if it's equals to nil, it means we have no current user. So we are going to create a write button here for our login, so that if our user is not logged in, he's going to see the button there in order to log in. If, however, we have already logged in user, we have to create this button, but instead of login, we are going to write a different title, and it's going to be editing the profile. So let's underneath create this function, a private func create write bar button with title, which is a string, and we are going to say, first of all, we are going to go on top here, and I want to create a universal variable here. So let's put a mark so we have access to this button throughout our class here. I'm going to say vars, let's say var edit button outlet, and this is going to be UI bar button item. And moving down to our create write bar button item, we are going to access this global variable, global button that we created, and say edit bar button item. Let's call item. I have a typo here. Let me just quickly fix this. Refactor. It doesn't give. Okay. Edit bar button outlet. And here we are going to say edit bar button outlet is equals UI bar button item, and we're going to instantiate one with a title, a style, a target, and selector. The title is going to be the title that we are passing. The style is going to be plain, target is going to be self, and action is going to be the function that will be called every time our user clicks the button. So I'm going to write at selector, and it's going to be write bar button item pressed. So this is the name of my function, and right now it doesn't exist. That's why it will complain. So let's put a mark and call these IB actions. And I'm going to say add obj c and then func and paste the name here. And this is the function will be called every time our user clicks on our write bar button item. So once we have this function, we can say what we want to do. So I'm going to say if edit bar button item dot title is equals login. So we are going to check in which state our button is, because we have one button. We are going to have two titles, and the button is going to be doing different tasks depending on what title it has. So in case if the button is for login, we want to show login view. Else, we want to go to profile of our user. So let's also add this to our create bar button item. So I'm going to say self.navigation item dot right bar button item. This is going to be equals to our edit bar button item, because we have created a bar button item, but we didn't add it to our navigation controller. So after this, our navigation controller is added a right bar button. And then in our check login status, we're going to finish our code. We will have an else statement. So if we don't have a current user, we are going to say call our function create right button, bar button item with title login. And if we have a local user, we are going to do the same thing with a title edit. And this function, let's call in our view did appear. And we are going to run to see if this is working as we expected. So let's go to the profile view, and since we already have a logged in user, it says edit here. So if I click edit, nothing will happen. Basically this is not what we expect, because the code we didn't write anything, and since it's a table view, the edit basically puts the table view into edit mode.